Konnichiwa Disc Golf fans, and welcome back to Disc Channel's coverage of the lead card back nine, round 3, the final round in the 27th Nippon Open. If you haven't checked out our front nine coverage, please go back and do. And if you have, then you know why our leaderboard is the way it is, with JackyChen at 10 under, Manabu Kajiyama 1 stroke behind him at 9 under, and Simmel and Yutaro Sakai both tied at 2 under in third place. My name is Rowland, Innova Ambassador, and I will be talking you through the final 9, the epic conclusion to one of the largest tournaments we have annually here in Japan, in Shiga Prefecture in Western Japan. Our back 9 starts with hole 10. It's a par 4, 591 foot, 180 meter shot that does not go over this area. The drone is flying the straightest line from the tee to the basket. The players will be wrapping around the athletic track to the left side, trying to stay clear of the OB road on the right and not go over the fence into that OB athletic area. Generally speaking, the first shot is going to be something that goes from left to right, so either a turnover or a forehand that puts you into position to approach the green. Manabu will lead us off. Goes with a very aggressive roller here. Good angle on that hillside. If this flips, he could get all the way to the basket. But it does not, and he has gone OB. Plenty of distance, should have no problem laying up for his par. Yutaro elects for the turnover line with a stable disc, carrying OB a bit before coming back inbounds. Huge distance on that shot. Very nice. He'll have a jump putt approach for his birdie. As Jackie shows us his power on the forehand line. Straight hyzer the whole way. About 100 meters up the fairway. Very nice shot. The approach into the green is a bit tricky because it does slope from right to left. So getting as much distance on the tee is essential. Great snap in, it looks like. Other than Manabu, we have 3 players in the fairway. Simmel will be first to approach. Goes for a hyzer line. Looks like an early release here. Ends up on the downhill side, but with a tailwind putt coming up the hill for his birdie. Manabu using an overstable approach disc to get him close to the pin. Good angle on this disc. Needs to sit. That's the challenge of the slope at the green. Looks simple, but with that little bit of wind, 1 or 2 revolutions more on the disc can result in a good 10 meters downhill. Yutaro with a very nice approach, biting off as much as he could on the drive, made his birdie painless. Looks like the wind has died down for JackyChen for his birdie attempt. Airballs it left. Very nice putt from Simmel. Looks like he knocked one of the chains off of its support. These baskets are very uniquely constructed, and the top chain assembly is basically just a hook that curls underneath the crown with a rubber stopper that keeps the chain from falling out. Very nice putt from JackyChen. And the older these baskets get, the more likely those rubber stoppers are to either be lost or to break. And if they're only coming out, nice birdie from Yutaro, if they're only coming out once a year for these temporary tournaments or only for smaller monthly matches and things, it's likely that you're going to have multiple players multiple times a day putting the chains back in place. You can see the rubber stoppers there on those Innova Japan made baskets. As we have another look at Manabu's masterclass in the approach game through 10 holes. Simmel. No changes on the board, actually. Apologies. No changes on the board through 10 as we go into hole 11. Hole 11, par 3, 427 foot, 130 meters. Players must clear this grass area inside the track. If they don't, they will be going to a very punishing drop zone off to the right of the camera just now. You can go deep, you can go far right. All of those places are okay. If you clear the fence at the top of the hill, I believe that is out of bounds. But otherwise, your goal is basically to get yourself onto the track or beyond to set yourself up for a birdie putt. Yutaro, upwards of about 420 feet, he favors the flex shot. Great distance on this. It does look a bit wide right. Let's hope he doesn't have too awkward of a lie pinched up against that cement wall over there. Ko goes for the pure hyzer line. This has got to go. Almost. He has gone OB. This tournament took place in the first weekend of July, and it was steaming hot in Western Japan. 80% plus humidity, temperatures in the 90s. These players have already played 2 rounds and are probably exhausted at this point. Not 2 rounds on this day, but still, on back-to-back days in this heat can take a lot out of you. Manabu with a similar line to Ko's, but with a bit more power, and it looks like half the disc is in the blue. Manabu may be safe. We'll see what the card determines once they get up there. And our tournament leader, Jackie, easily has 500 feet of distance. He should have no trouble clearing. Goes for the pure hyzer line. Yeah, spectacular power right onto the track. Watch that roll. And he is at the edge of circle 1 or just beyond for his birdie putt. Ko was indeed out of bounds, and he throws a chip hyzer from the drop zone. Gets a very friendly kick off of that high jump support, and will be able to tap in his bogey no problem. Manabu was safe and has a long look at birdie here. Decent height, but off to the right. No wind to speak of right now. Very favorable conditions for long putts. Jackie unable to convert on his birdie. He would have liked to be able to take another stroke on Manabu there, give him a bit more cushion into the end of the tournament. But he'll have to settle for par. Yutaro with this unique lie behind the basket. Good run at it, but a bit short. Hole 10, by the way, played exactly even to par with 24% birdies, 52% pars, 24% bogeys. And hole 11, which we are watching now, played 0.4 strokes over par with a single birdie on the day. 60% par, 28% bogey, and 8% double bogey or worse. A very challenging hole for the field. Permanently installed Japanese courses do not have a lot of distance to practice on. I live in Eastern Japan, and our longest courses around here that are permanently installed are only 80 meters or so, close to 300 feet. So it's difficult to find, other than getting out into the field and throwing, a place to really practice these long distance shots, and our scores, average scores in the field reflect that, I think. Through 11 holes, JackyChen is still your leader at 10 under with Manabu 1 stroke behind him. Simmel has dropped a stroke to Yutaro. As we move into hole number 12. Hole 12 is a par 3, 276 foot, 84 meter shot. The grass that we're flying over right now on the left side is OB, otherwise everything is safe. The central grass in the track is OB. This hill is safe unless you scoot up and under that fence at the top of the hill. So speed control, angle control, both absolutely essential coming into this basket. Yutaro has the box. This needs to fade. Going to be a challenging wind putting downhill with a headwind there. This is tough because you want to hit short of the basket, but as you can see behind our players now, there is a wall that is about, say, 3 feet high, 2.5 feet high, about a meter high. And if you're too short, then you're going to have a very long uphill putt. Manabu trusting his distance sense with the hyzer line, as he should. Well executed in the bullseye for his birdie look. Looks like Jackie has a mid-range in hand. Turns it over a bit. Good stability on this disc. Slow down. And he will also have a challenging downhill putt into the headwind. Ko going the hyzer line as well, and comes up a bit short. Looks like he'll be just on circle one's edge, maybe a bit beyond. He's pretty good at this range. Looks like he has a left to right wind. Just skips off the top of the basket, and with an aggressive spin putt, that is the risk. He's got this left for par. And unfortunately, he just hits too high. These baskets do not like to catch high. He'll have to drop another stroke to Yutaro. If all goes well for Yutaro, he still has a challenging downhill putt as well. Jackie lines up his birdie putt and is just off to the right. Yutaro puts a bit too much loft on his putt and sails it long. The Ko taps out, and he's thinking that maybe he won't be dropping a stroke to Yutaro here. Yutaro, maybe a lapse of concentration. That, folks, is what we call a birdogey, a birdie putt that turns into a bogey. Manabu, our card's last chance at the birdie. Jackie, after watching two people three putt, not wanting to do the same. He's going to take his time on this one. Very nice. Cleans up his par. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of you English language understanders who are coming to join us for our coverage over the last couple of months. Seen some great feedback both in the YouTube comments and on Reddit. Please feel free to reach out if you'd like to see us doing anything different, or just to let us know how many things we're doing right. Thank you so much. Through 12 holes, Jackie and Manabu are now tied up at 10 under. Ko Simmel is at -1 and Yutaro is at -2. As we move into hole 13, a 1,007-foot, 307-meter monster par 5. Players tee off from this area over the road, which is OB, into this wide open area. There is OB left and right. It is a tapering fairway that tapers towards the river. Once over the river, players will be approaching this alleyway, hoping to get a good angle to skip up to the basket, which is way up there. The river along the left side plays OB, and anything over the fence up to the right into that other athletic area is also OB. A very, very challenging hole. Hole 12, by the way, played .12 strokes under par with 28% birdies, 56% pars, and 16% bogeys. Manabu going with a stable distance line here. Puts himself in great position to get up and over the river. The wall of trees that is short of the river makes the second shot quite challenging. Jackie also electing for that hyzer line. Making our cameraman dance. Jackie Chen has more distance than our camera crew is used to covering for, so I have a feeling he'll keep them dancing all day. Yutaro also going to that straight to hyzer line off to the right, fading back into the fairway. You really just don't want to go OB here on this first shot. And if you're going to go for birdie, you have to get a ton of distance off the tee, because you really, eagle is basically off the table given the goal position from where you'd have to take your second shot here, especially for these players. Maybe with world-class distance, the story's different. But for these players, if you're going for eagle, you would need to be just short of the river, which is just more distance than any of these gentlemen have. But they have all successfully made the fairway on their drives. And Ko will start with a layup. He puts himself right behind that tree, which is unfortunate. I think he wanted to be a bit further to right. And Jackie is going over here. Making the cameraman dance again. Yutaro joking with the cameraman that the cameraman is basically the basket, always sitting in the perfect landing zone. Yutaro chalking up his discs, trying to mitigate the palm sweat that comes with these hot central Japanese summers. Very nice shot from Yutaro. Looks like the catch cam backed up a bit. Maybe they learned their lesson. Yeah, Manabu doesn't quite have the distance to shoot the green from here, so getting overly aggressive is just not the play. Putting himself in position to approach the pin for birdie. And with so much OB all over this hole, a par is getting strokes on folks. And Ko has that left for his birdie. It's like Yutaro going for the backhand turnover line. This is a very touchy shot. OB both left and right. If he cut rolls, this is going to go straight OB. Commentator's curse. There he goes. Manabu, is this too far left? Ooh, he gets lucky. But his luck runs out right at the end of the drive. Jackie in a great position here to flex something with this overstable approach disc. Very nice job. Ko with a jump putt that is high enough to be running the basket, but on the safe side. And you can see Manabu's disc down there in the river to the left. Both of these players have gone OB. Yutaro trying to... Wow. An unfriendly bounce off that cage could have put him right back OB again, but he's lucky to stay safe as Ko cleans up his par. And then loses his sun umbrella into the river. Jackie with the stress-free birdie, picking up some serious strokes on folks. Manabu, even with the OB, is going to be tapping out his par. Hole 13 played 2.04 strokes over par. We saw the only birdie of the day. 8% of people parred it, 24% bogeyed, and 64% double bogey or worse. This hole ate the field alive. Through 13, JackyChen is your outright leader at 11 under. Manabu is 1 stroke behind him at 10 under. And Simmel and Yutaro Sakai are now all tied up at 1 under and 3rd. As we move into hole 14. Hole 14 is, I'd say, a breath of fresh air, a relief for our lead card. It is a dead straight shot. 279 feet, 85 meter par 3. Straight at the basket. Take the straightest disc you have and shoot it straight at the basket. That is the name of the game. There is a sort of low ceiling about halfway down, depending on your shot choice, about halfway down the fairway. But at this skill level, shouldn't be too much of an issue. As long as you don't turf into that hill on the left, you should be fine. I think the majority of players, that bush that the disc just flew by, they're going to be aiming at that bush and hoping to miss it to the left. And in worst case, miss it to the right, as Jackie just did. And Manabu squeaks through the bush. He will be in circle 1 for his birdie putt. Looks like we have a bit of headwind here, as Ko has found the bush. Depending on whether he dug into the bush or not, he may have a tough look at his birdie there. Yutaro opting for a lower line. Beautiful action right into the bullseye, it looks like, or just outside. Gorgeous drive from Yutaro. Looks like the wind has picked up a bit here. Jackie's got a few limbs in his face and a right to left tailwind. Just never got the putt high enough. He knew it out of his hand. Ko with an awkward stance, and he almost converts. Those kind of putts are 50-50 catch or drop, and he just didn't have luck on his side this time. Manabu with a chance to pick up a stroke on Jackie here. Right to left wind. Just hits high. These baskets do not like to catch high. Ko cleans up his par. Hole 14 played 0.12 strokes under par, with 24% of the field birdieing it, 64% getting pars, and 12% bogeys. Straight headwind, no problem for Jackie's par save, as Manabu taps out his par as well. With just a few holes left in this tournament, firsts and second place, and third and fourth place are both in heated competition here. JackyChen at 11 under, Manabu at 10 under, Yutaro at 4 under, and Yutaro at 2 under. And Simmel at 1 under here as we move into hole 15. Hole 15 is a par 4, 515-foot, 157-meter shot. A lot of trees on this shot. Players are going to want to pretty much land in the clearing that the drone just flew through, or in this clearing here. Anything that sets you up with a straight shot down this hallway towards the basket. You don't want to bite off too much, because if you are just a little bit off and you end up in the woods, either to the left or right side, there's really nothing you can do but lay up to the fairway. Not a whole lot of space on the right side for the hyzer either, for the big hyzer, to get that much distance. So I think most of our players will do what Yutaro is doing now, which is probably how the designer intended it. Low ceiling through that entranceway, miss that bush in the middle, get somewhere in the clearing, pray you have an opening. Jackie also going up the gut. Fantastic shot. A little bit of an unfriendly roll here, but as long as it settles, he will have a straight shot. Not to the green, but a straight shot into the entranceway to the forest path. Manabu going for the turnover line. Basically does the exact same thing Jackie did with much less stress. And Ko likes what Manabu saw out there. He wants to go outside with the high forehand hyzer. And ends up a bit pinched off on the left side there. Yutaro will be up first. Does a good job of getting into that second clearing. The straight shot looking up to the basket. Ko looking to do something similar here, and he has succeeded. I love the shape of the fairway coming into the green. You really need something like a gradually turning backhand, a putter shot. It's a really touchy sort of shot coming into the green. So getting as centered as you can prior to entering the woods really is important to giving yourself the best chance at this challenging upshot. As Manabu says, I'm just going to go for it. Somehow gets lucky through the woods here. That is definitely not the gap he was aiming for. But hey, whatever gets you to the basket, that's the right shot. Jackie is also lining up a forehand here. He has gone out right. Is he going to get lucky like Manabu? No, but he kicks out into the fairway. That's a very kind kick. Yutaro trying to flex an overstable approach disc up there. He might be far enough up that he has a putt. Ko does a good job of getting up onto the green with his approach. And Jackie has this for his birdie putt. And he still takes a run at it. Yutaro with a floaty layup bid. Manabu with a stress-free birdie. Happy to have gotten through the woods like that. Happy to be getting a stroke on the leader and tying up this match at the top on hole 15. Ko making sure that he doesn't putt too high on this basket, learning from his mistakes. Fantastic as he cleans up his par. Jackie taps at his par. And Yutaro his bogey. Hole 15 played 1.04 strokes over par, averaging 5.04 strokes. 8% birdies, 36% pars, 28% bogeys, and 28% double bogey or worse. We are tied at the top and tied in second here. A whole lot of ones. Minus 11, minus 11, minus 1, minus 1. So we go into hole 16. It's one of my favorite holes on the course. We have this S-shaped fairway. On this 276-foot, 84-meter par 3. The wall is in play here, so a very popular play is to try to use that wall ride to get as much distance as you can up to the basket. Don't throw your favorite disc because you will scar it up, but if you have a disc that you don't mind scooting along the wall, a good forehand can make miracles happen here. We'll see if Manabu can show us the line. A bit too much movement left. If that had been fading back as it came in, he might have gotten a more favorable kick off the wall, but he does have a long look for his birdie. Jackie with a similar line, catches a branch on the hill, ends up in a similar position. Ko is also lining up the forehand. Saws it off. Got a pretty good kick off of that first wall. He should be able to approach scramble for his par. Yutaro going for the backhand. Definitely the more challenging shot. Not as much of a reaction off the wall with counterclockwise spin, but he is certainly a circle's 2-putt away from his birdie. Ko knows that he can miss left. Does a good job of scrambling for his par. Jackie with a very nice safe bid, staying close to the basket and almost hitting that birdie putt. Manabu from the other side of the fairway. It looks like he has missed right again. That seems to be his miss today. Yutaro also missing right. As Ko cleans up his par. Hole 16 played 0.4 strokes over par with a single birdie. Congratulations to Kaide Masayoshi for that birdie. A longtime ultimate player who has turned disc golf. A rising star in domestic Japanese disc golf is Manabu with an uncharacteristic miss. Maybe a bit too much oomph on that putt for this single change basket. Single birdie, 52% par and 44% bogey. Manabu, not the best place to be dropping a stroke with only 2 holes left. Yutaro and Ko are in a similar situation. Who is going to slip up first? Jackie with an awkward stance for his par, but should be no problem for him. As Manabu taps out his bogey. Jackie is now your outright leader at 11 under, Manabu at 10 under just behind him, and Ko and Yutaro still tied up in 3rd place below your leaders. As we move into hole 17, a very tight fairway to begin this 236-foot, 72-meter shot. Once you get past this last set of Guardians, you're out into the somewhat open. Still have some young saplings and immature trees guarding your way to the basket. The river all along the left side that was OB on hole 13 is still OB on this hole. Players are going to want to get out into the open and move to the right. which Jackie has done successfully. A bit more steam on that than I think he was intending. Skipped just long of the basket and ends up in circle 2. Ko takes the inside route, probably not intentionally, but gets a very nice catch in the grass to stop on the dance floor in circle 1. Yutaro going for that same exit and gets an unlucky kick straight left out of bounds into the river. Ko with a chance to get 2 strokes on hole 17. Manabu knows with a close shot here he can pick up a stroke, at least a stroke on Jackie. A very touchy flex shot with an overstable disc gets him probably 9 meters. He's in circle 1. The ability to generate that amount of spin and force at a standstill with barely moving your body, just flicking your wrist, is just incredible. Yutaro with a very nice touch forehand to get him in position to clean up his bogey. And Jackie with this for his birdie. Catches some cabbage right out of the hand, ends up missing low. And with that birdie, Ko Simmel is now alone in 3rd place. Manabu knows how important this putt is. He's taking his time. Very nice birdie. Taking a stroke on Jackie going into the last hole of the tournament. Yutaro knowing that without some crazy twist on hole 18, he may have just lost his podium spot as Jackie taps out his par. Sorry, Manabu's not the leader. He has tied Jackie now. Going into the final hole, both Jackie and Manabu are back at double ones, minus 11. Ko Simmel is now your solo 3rd placeman at 2 under par, and Yutaro is at even in 4th. Moving into our final hole, hole 18. Hole 18 is a par 3, 459-foot, 140-meter shot over the river into the open. There is tapering OB on both the left and right that tapers towards the basket. Most of our lead card have the distance to get up there, but is the risk-reward calculus worth it? A big skip to the left of the basket could carry OB. We'll see what our players decide to do. I believe OB is right at the edge or just inside of circle 1 on that left side. So a big skip from right to left could change the tournament here. Manabu on the box wants nothing to do with that left side OB. Happy to flex it out there. Players are kind of protected here from the wind. It's very difficult to tell what's going on out in that open. I don't know if Manabu is trying to get close to the basket or just trying to cut off a whole bunch of distance. Ko's forehand flex does not flex. He dances a bit with that OB on the left side, but ends up safe. And Jackie knows if he can put it close here, he can take the tournament with a birdie. A little bit too much turn on this. but he is pin high. Hole 17 incidentally played .08 strokes over par, 24% birdies, 48% pars, 24% bogeys, and a single double bogey or worse. Yutaro putting a good move on this one. He's happy with his final drive of the tournament. Ko with a forehand chip to the basket, almost dunks it, securing his third place finish. Now, does Jackie run this? He sure does. That was a very good but safe run at it. Puts the ball in Manabu's court. Unlikely that Manabu can put this in, but if he does, he has a hero story finish. Never had a chance. It looks like we're going to a playoff, folks. Yutaro's putt is wide right. You can see that right to left wind sort of whip the disc towards the basket once it started a hyzer. As Ko taps out his par, Yutaro his par. And our leaders, their pars. The Nippon Open is one of 4 national tournaments that we have here in Japan. It's actually run by the PDGA, the Japanese Disc Golf Association, and is therefore considered one of our domestic majors. So taking down this tournament is very meaningful for especially Japanese players. We have a domestic point ranking that weighs these national tournaments heavier than local tournaments and other regional tournaments. And so Manabu surely wants this win for his domestic standing. We're going to be playing hole 1 on repeat for our, I think hole 1, maybe back into hole 1 and hole 18 for our playoffs if things don't resolve on hole 1. Hole 1 is the par 4, 679 foot, 207 meter shot. Position off the drive is absolutely essential. We will see how things end up here as our players are flipping to see who drives first. Jackie calls heads, and it's tails. So Manabu will choose whether to drive, tick the box or no. Manabu will take the drive. As long as this fades, Manabu will be in a great position. Getting the cameraman dancing out of the way. He may be a bit too far on that drive. He could be pinched off, but we'll see. The best drive is a bit shorter than that and further left to give access to the green. As long as this doesn't flip, Jackie should be in a good position. And Jackie will be able to see the basket from there. Jackie talking to his Team Innova teammate Ming from Hong Kong. He's another regular at these larger Japanese tournaments. Manabu. An aggressive forehand approach. this is rolled OB, that could be the tournament. I didn't see a graphic. Let's see. Manabu asking his cardmates if his disc stopped. Jackie's forehand approaches up. Well, he knows the safe miss is right, but it's possible to kick out and roll into the river from there. It looks like he's safe. Now, the way that Manabu ran that, I believe he was OB on that second shot. Catches a tree on his way in. And
I'll move up my leg.
announcing that he will be stepping this. The Barry Schultz step, where he has his foot in front of his lie but lifts it up before he putts as he taps in his tournament victory. Fantastic play from our lead card here in the 27th Nippon Open, brought to you by DiscRaft. A very hot and exhausting round, one of the longest courses in Japan. And let's hear what Jackie has to say about this tournament and his performance.
How was your first day and second day?
I had a very tough. I did from 4 holes. I got 2 doubles on front 4, so I feel like that's a tough moment for me. But I think I knew that's a big tournament. That's 3 rounds. And the past few years ago, I was just quiet because DiscGolf has some. I need a many big mental in my mind. So I'm glad I got a very tough moment, and I still move up to the first. Happy about that. That's a big problem.
How did you feel about the course? I think it's your second or third time playing here.
Yeah. This time might be a little easier. Maybe, I'm not sure. Because last time I seen this more challenging, more woodies holes, but this time it's more wide open. Which is mainly good for me. So I can't believe I can win in this course. Yeah, maybe we'll come again. Yeah, it's so challenging. Very good course.
How was the playoff? How did you feel going into it? And then?
Oh yeah, I had a very good tee shot, and I saw the Manabu. He took a little bit too right. I feel I have a chance because that hole we know that you should on the fairway, and you will just have a chance. And I'm happy about I on the fairway. And unfortunately, he got OB and I can win a little easier, but I'm still happy about that. Okay.
How was the last honey?
Last up shot.
Yeah,
I mean the last up.
Yeah.
Oh, last up shot. That's a little bit mistake about my second shot. It's a too right, and I might need Chen to the more power and the more distance to, because I don't want to lay up. That's not a sense for me. I want to put more aggressive. I knew he's OB, but I want to try my best. But that was not good. But it's good enough for the layup.
I think
Just once.
congratulations on the win. Hopefully, the good mentality leading into Pro World.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about going to play in Finland?
Oh yeah. I will go Finland at the 24th in this month. So, which is mean I come to join this tournament to preparing. So that's a good win for me. I got a lot of experience and play with the pressure. That's very important in this golf.
Yeah, we'll be rooting for you from Japan.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other plans for tournaments in Japan this year, or?
Not sure.
Not sure.
Yeah, I just decided how many days? 7 days ago.
7 days ago.
And I want to come here, and hopefully I will announce that.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.